So I'm gonna explain why this game is not going to be good. So, um, basically, I have this point that I want to make about how Sonic Frontiers essentially looks like a checklist of tasks that are not difficult or fun to do, and you just have to do them. And the incentives are this skill tree system, but um, the actual tasks themselves are not interesting or exciting or fun. I mean, look at this. This is playing itself, and this boss is like you wait, you don't do anything. It does not look fun. It does not look engaging. This entire game has so far looked like this, where absolutely everything is just a checklist of tasks that are not difficult or interesting or lend any sort of creative input from the player where they could do something a certain way or do something a different way or do something a unique way. And the world itself is not fun. It's barren, it's bland, and the hills and stuff don't really do anything as from a physical standpoint. Like, you can't go up this hill. It's just there to look impeding. Now, let's look at what I would consider to be good open world design. Would be this SpongeBob. After you beat the game, you get this ball arena where you can just kind of roll around and do whatever you want, and there's no rewards, there's no skill tree, but there's physics and there's variety, and there's just controlling him is fun. Something I do with my son is I have this kid-friendly GTA mod called Family Friendly Free Roam, and we just take cars and motorcycles and just go up on hills and jump off hills. And there's nothing like that in the Sonic game. Um, this is so fun. This is like so simple and cute, but I remember as a kid loving this zone in this SpongeBob game because I like rolling around, and there was no unlockables, no nothing, but it was just a great time. So this is Sonic GT, and it's sort of my go-to every time I want to talk about like what an open world Sonic could be. And it's basically like a large, doesn't have to be like larger than Mario Odyssey map, but smaller than like an actual open world game. But just you have an environment full of natural hills and loops and rails that all flow together, and the challenges would be laid around this sort of environment, involving getting from point A to point B very quickly, getting to a high place, using the physics system to propel yourself into areas that would be difficult to get to unless you were skilled. And I think the environment design of something like this would make a much more interesting game. It doesn't even, open world or not, I just like, you want to have the physics that enable a way that you can engage with the environment in a way that is unique every time you engage with it. Like, I've played City Escape probably 1,000 times because even though in a way it's like a checklist where you hit a certain ramp. Let's hold on. Let's look at City Escape. So every time you play this level, there are points and scores and ways of going about each section of the checklist. So here's the first part, is this ramp here. Now, that's the trick you'll do 99% of the time, but if you're really fast, you'll do that, upside down helicopter thing that he does. And trying to get those instead of that one, that's the basic one, but trying to get the other one is like always really fun. And so that's the variability of this game versus something like Sonic Frontiers, where everything is like scripted basically. Running on this thing is fun. That takes some skill to do. And there's a trick, you bounce on both of these. Oh my god, this is just so much more fun. Even though it's just a checklist, I feel like you have more options here, and there's like a physics system in place that even though this is a very scripted game, I don't know. It's super scripted though. This isn't really what I would want either from an open world Sonic game. Anyway, so okay, so here's the world basically going from one point to the next. Not interesting. Nothing here is interesting. Okay, now here is the fun part in quotations. You home attack 3 times. You basically just do everything the game tells you to. The rails are scripted. You basically, it's just quick time events scattered around a flat, uninteresting map. And every, fun section is just a quick time event. Look at this puzzle. Look at how brain dead this is. This is like the last area in the game too. You can tell by the colors. And it's like, this is like the kind of thing you would see in a, this is like a smartphone game. This is like an ad for a smartphone game you see when you are on like a free, you're using like a call blocker, and every time you add someone to your whitelist, this is like the game that shows up for 2 seconds. It's like the smartphone game. Look, there's nothing to do here. The combat looks dead too. But like there's nothing going on here except for the sanctioned fun sections that are extremely scripted, and there's no room for any creative input from the player at all, which is sort of what defines like an open experience. Look at this. Okay, you jump, you are going to stomp. It takes you to this part. And now, okay, it's already over, I guess. Oh, there's your key. Alright, now home attack that spring, and then home attack some other things, and then it's all the same. It's all the same. Like, you just home attack 3 times, and then a rail takes you to another thing where you home attack 3 times. It doesn't look like there's ever a part in this game where, like, you have to make a quick decision. Let's see this rail section. Okay, wow. Oh, and then this boss looks so terrible. So basically, this is like Sonic Colors. You like run on this track, and this is the difficult, engaging boss fight. Check this out. Just wow. It's fucking it's Temple Run. This is the cool boss fight, Temple Run. And it's just so time consuming. Like, he's doing this for minutes and minutes and minutes, just playing like a really bad Temple Run. And then, oh, time to hit him. And then like the stages are even worse. Like, this is just Breath of the Wild, but whatever. Who knows if that's fun? It looks like it could be fun. I don't know. Just looks like shit.